Hello and welcome to Reprieve Media CIC Double Handful. Sad circumstances today, unfortunately. The death this week of what we consider here to be one of the greatest staying chasers of all time. We're talking, of course, about the Paul Nicholls trained, Harry Findlay and Paul Barber owned Denman, who sadly passed away this week, aged 18 years old. So what we're going to play for you now is just an interview that we did, just cropped up really during the show. What we did, the introduction show with the host Steve Allpress and myself did. We discussed Denman's career then, so we thought that would be a fitting tribute to just see what we could do with that and play that out for you now. So without further ado, let's get cracking on. This is our double handful Steve Allpress and Paul Newman tribute to the tank. Rest in peace, Denman. Glad you touched on Denman there, because for me, that was a superb racehorse. I mean, it's worth remembering as well that he did win some great races, but he was also a useful hurdler. I mean, I remember when he was a favourite for the Sun Alliance hurdle, I think it was then, at Cheltenham, the 2 mile 5 furlong race, where he just got beat by Nicanor, you know, and obviously his novice chasing as well. He's a great horse, full stop.
He did. He certainly did. He was a tremendous horse, as you say. He wasn't a bad hurdler either. He was only touched off by Nicanor in the Sun Alliance hurdle, but yeah, the following year, he obviously went novice chasing and he won the RSA.
Yeah, it was a great season, wasn't it? I mean, I liked Harry Findlay. He had a couple of other horses at the time as well, didn't he? That were always worth following. Remember Wakeboard? I don't think Nicholls trained that one. It won a few races, I remember it. But Denman and Kate O'Star, what a rivalry that was. Findlay and Paul Barber against Clive Smith and Masterminded at the same time as Cato, Roy Leclerc as well, another great horse of his. I mean, it was a fantastic time, wasn't it?
The relationship between Findlay and Barber was great to see, and there was obviously that in-house stable rivalry.
And what was the biggest ever bet you had on Denman, and at what price? And how big a thrill was it to win a huge bet on a horse which you owned?
Yeah, good question, because I mentioned in the book when we lumped on him at Bangor at massive odds on, but which is a funny story. But when Denman got beat by Nicanor in the Sun Alliance hurdle, I was on the way out of the racecourse, and Barber put his arm around my shoulder and said, "Don't worry." He said, "The way he come and jumped that last after he was beaten," he said, he's a monster. He said he will come back next year and win the Royal Sun Alliance chase. And with Denman's style of running and what we knew even then, that was always going to be the target. And therefore, we lumped on. The first show was 10-1. We took all the 10s and 8s before we ran, and then he beat Pembroke in the novice chase. When during that race, that's when we named him the Tank, when he ploughed through the fourth last. After that, we stuck him again at 6 and 5, and I told everyone to lump on. But come the race, it was a lot more pressure than I thought, because 3 weeks before the race, I was doing all the interviews for the press, and it was like a monsoon. It was, you didn't question whether Cheltenham was on. So soft or heavy ground was looking at certainty, and I thought Denman had already won. It looked like being 4 or 5 runners, and it was a shoo-in. And I told everyone he was a mortgage job, and of course, all of a sudden, the weather changed. It was like the hottest 8 days in history, and we got there and it was good ground. Genuinely good, even faster than that ground. And suddenly we're taking on speedier horses. And I was quoted everywhere as saying he was the biggest certainty of all time. I think he went out to 11:08 on the day. But he had that mid-race duel with Aces 4, that flying 30-mile Murphy horse, and they were going so fast in the middle of that race. I thought they was really nervous watching that. And when he won that day, it was so exciting. The pressure of putting so many people onto him, and everyone knew what we were. I was a bit thinking it was going to be heavy ground, I was more than confident in the press, and I certainly felt the pressure on the day, and it was a real good buzz when he won.
And then he went on, I think it was 2008, he had an unblemished year, brilliant winning the Hennessy.
Oh yeah, that first Hennessy, what a performance that was. Top weight, as a novice, first run outside of novice company, and he absolutely thrashed her. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he was tremendous. He's certainly one of the best we've seen, without doubt.
I've had a few years out of racing since then, up to then really. Got back into it with my mate, Rich Spring. We used to go and watch a few races now and again, to say the least. And that was just incredible to watch. That was just top weight. Like, I think he went off about 9-2, 6-1 that day. It was Christmas. Absolutely brilliant. Same day Arcalis won the fighting trip. I'll never forget it.
You're right. He was top weight. There was a couple of Irish horses in the race, and they were the talk beforehand was they were going to serve it up to him, but he won very well. He won very well. He was. I think that was the day when everybody stood up and thought we have a genuine contender here for Court A-Star's crown. I generally think that was the race where people took notice.
Oh, you couldn't fail to, could you? You just dominated them all from start to finish. I remember watching it. I mean, you'd come around the bend on the bridle, and the rest of them were just flat out. I've never seen nothing like it.
Brilliant winning the Lexus.
Facing up now to the first down the back, Denman, Ruby Walsh, the listener, Daryl Jacobs, State of Play, Paul Maloney, Mossbank, Davy Russell, and a good jump by the listener, goes up to just take over. Lantarctic, Graham Lee on the inside, and B for Salmon, Paul Carberry, although the back markers 6 lengths cover them, and the lead exchanging now as Denman takes over again. Coming up towards the milepole, Denman, the listener, Mossbank on the outside of State of Play, B for Salmon and Lantarctic. Racing now across in front of the stands to the final regulation, 6 left to jump, and Denman leads the listener. Mossbank, State of Play, B for Salmon, Lantarctic. Right across from the stands, second last ditch, Denman from the listener. Mossbank touches down third, then State of Play, Lantarctic, and B for Salmon. So they're heading now towards the final 3/4 of a mile. Denman the leader from the listener. State of Play, Lantarctic joining Mossbank, and they've gone a few lengths in front of B for Salmon. Now they're going to 4 from the finish. Denman leads the listener by just a length and a half. 3 parts of a length then to State of Play, Mossbank, Lantarctic, and B for Salmon. Racing now to the final ditch, 5 furlongs to go, 3 left to jump, and Denman leads. The listener tracks him in third, State of Play, Mossbank right there on the outside, and B for Salmon and Lantarctic still right in contention as the 6 runners covered by 5 lengths. The final ditch, 3 from home. Denman leads by just over 2 lengths. The listener, Mossbank, State of Play, Lantarctic, and B for Salmon. Swinging now with 2 left to jump in the Lexus, and it's Denman and Ruby Walsh from the listener and Daryl Jacob. Mossbank and Davy Russell towards the outside. Now they begin to race for the home turn, and it's Denman from the listener moving up on the outside. In third is Mossbank as they round the home turn. Denman, the listener, and Mossbank as they straighten up for the final fence. It's Denman, Ruby Walsh from Mossbank on the outside. Davy Russell in the centre is the listener and Daryl Jacob, but Denman leads Mossbank and the listener. In fourth is B for Salmon. Final fence in the Lexus chase, and it's Denman over in front of Mossbank. Then comes the listener, and on the run up towards the finish, it's Denman and Ruby Walsh from Mossbank, the listener, and B for Salmon staying on again as they race up towards the finish. It's going to be another big one for Ruby Walsh and Paul Nicholls. What a hand he's got in the Gold Cup. Ruby and Denman win the Lexus, and it's going to be a photograph for second, very close. Mossbank and the listener, and B for Salmon, a very, very creditable fourth.
for the Quarto Star Denman Gold Cup, and obviously there was a lot of talk leading up to it, but Denman put it all together on when it mattered, and he put in a sensational performance. He really did leave it all on the line that day, and he won really well. He was a tremendous horse. He's certainly one of my favourite moments, seeing him cross the line, that's for sure.
As they head towards the fence at the top of the hill, it's Denman trying to run the finish out of his rivals. A length and a half clear from Neptune Collonge. Quarto Star in a little bit tight there. Ruby Walsh for the first time is pushing along on Quarto Star. Denman's got him at it as they run downhill. So it's Denman who leads from Neptune Collonge. Quarto Star in third. Exotic Dancer is in fourth place as Denman is over the next from Neptune Collonge. Again Quarto Star rushed his way through the top, and Ruby Walsh draws the whip on Quarto Star. Denman powering on down the hill, leads by 3 to 4 from Neptune Collonge. Quarto Star with a mountain to climb to retain his crown. Denman gallops on towards the next. He's over about 8 clear. Neptune Collonge, Quarto Star, Exotic Dancer took it by the roots. They're now on the home turn, and Denman is 10 lengths clear from in second. Ridden along Neptune Collonge. Quarto Star trying to stay on to second, but see the crown slipping from his grasp. It's Denman facing the Cheltenham Hill, but with a big lead. It's as much as 10 to 12 lengths, and Quarto Star is struggling to even get past Neptune Collonge. The second last, Denman comes to it, 10 lengths clear, and he's over. Quarto Star's moved through into second. Then in third is Neptune Collonge. The whip's drawn on Denman. Quarto Star staying on, 8 lengths between the pair at the last. Denman comes to the final fence. He's over from Quarto Star in second. He rushes through the top. Denman is a tired horse. He has 200 yards to travel. Quarto Star with 8 lengths to find, but Denman and Sam Thomas driven out, relentless, remorseless, and pounded Quarto Star into submission. The answer is Denman. Denman won the Gold Cup from Quarto Star, who shares a front over second with Neptune Collonge.
Yeah, you're right, mate. Spot on. I mean, fantastic race. I mean, I think next year, the year after that, I think he'd have won the Grand National, mate, without any shadow of a doubt. I think Harry Finley knew he'd have won the Grand National as well. He was an absolute machine of a horse. He'd have just led all the way round there. He had led all the way in the Grand National and absolutely hammered him. I'd have loved to have seen it.
Yeah, obviously he had the heart problem, didn't he? And that obviously knocked him back. But
yeah, he did, and that was it really. At the end of that, I mean, terrible break for the horse. Cost him the Grand National, in my opinion, without any shadow of a doubt.
Yep, you could easily have been right there, and obviously he did come back.
Well, I mean, I think the form backs it up as well, mate. I mean, you look at Neptune Collonge won the race, didn't he? And as you've just heard, Denman annihilated Neptune Collonge in the Gold Cup, off level weights. So you'd have probably thought that Denman would have had a few more pounds than old Neptune. Neptune in his own right was a good horse, but Denman was a different class to him, and I think just after the heart defect and that cost him, he was never the same after that, I don't think.
He did come back and win a second Hennessy.
Yeah, he did. I'll give you that one, mate. Fair play. And that really was, in my view, more remarkable than the first one, because, I don't know, the romance of it, like you say, goes back to what we were saying earlier about the National Hunt horses. I mean, that was a very emotional victory when he won that race.
It was unbelievable, really. It was a great training performance.
They move now to the 16th, and it's Denman and Niche Market together. Barbershop in third, Killiglen just losing a few places in fourth, and behind those is Joe Lively, and then on the outside Cornadi Kid, My Will, and War of Attrition gone to lunch under pressure. Nenufar Collonge is left. 5 to take in the Hennessy. Denman, the previous winner, is the leader. Ruby Walsh has had a look round already for the dangers. Niche Market, who's been prominent throughout, has been joined by Barbershop. The Queen's runners move now on the outside of Niche Market. They're second and third. The white jacket blue cap of What a Friend is making good progress into fourth. Joe Lively is next as they come to the cross fence. Denman was the leader. Joe Lively made a mistake in fifth position. So Denman comes on the home turn. Leading up now now to Barbershop, 2 lengths away in second place. Niche Market is in third. What a Friend in the white jacket, blue cap in fourth place. They're clear to Gondola, Snowy Morning, Joe Lively, Cornady Kid, Nenifar Calange, My Will. War of Attrition still going. Killiglen, it looks like he's pulling up as they come to the 4 last. Denman and Barbershop. Denman the leader by 2 lengths. To Barbershop in second position. What a Friend is in third. Niche Market in fourth. They're coming now towards the final ditch. 3 out, and it's Denman fitting to carry top weight. Got over it safely by 2 lengths. The stablemate What a Friend has moved into second position. Niche Market and Barbershop are third and fourth. Gondola and Snowy Morning behind those. At the second last, Denman only just to What a Friend in second position. The back in third place then is Barbershop and Niche Market. Gondola behind those, and then Snowy Morning as they come to the last fence. What a Friend and Denman are the two. The two stablemates are at it together. Denman was just in front and he got away from the fence faster. Leads by 2 lengths to What a Friend in second position. They're heading inside the final furlong now, and Denman bidding to be the third horse to recapture the Hennessy. Shows in front. A great weight carrying performance from outstanding steeplechase of his generation. Denman has won it. To What a Friend in second. Niche Market and Barbershop involved in a photo for fourth, and then game gone to lunch.
There are no superlatives to describe that performance. Denman has just won a red-hot Hennessy Gold Cup. He's reprised his victory of 2 seasons ago. He is back. He has beaten off What a Friend, who loomed with massive danger, his stable companion from 2 out, and he has still managed to win. That is an incredible performance. It's up there with Desert Orchid, it's up there with Borough Hill Lad in this race in 1984, and that is simply magnificent. Words cannot describe how good that was, and you can feel it here again in the air as it was 2 seasons ago, and Ruby Walsh and Paul Nicholls and Denman have just destroyed a high class Hennessy Gold Cup field.
But to me, even though he did win that race, you can't take it away from him. He just wasn't the same dominant horse as he was. He just used to gallop him into submission before he had that unfortunate heart problem. He was just an absolute beast of a horse.
No, he definitely wasn't the same horse. From that 2008 season, yeah, he's tremendous. He was real brute strength, stamina, everything you want in a stay in chase. So he was tremendous.